Hello and a warm welcome to our election campaign trail interviews. And Delhi is in the midst of a high-fevered campaign headed for a three-cornered fight between Congress, BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. If BJP is riding on the Modi wave, Aam Aadmi Party is boasting of its delivery in the past 5 years. But in this political matrix, where is the Congress stacked up? Joining me now is the longest-serving Chief Minister of Delhi and a veteran Congress leader. I welcome Sheila ji on the program. My first question to you is that are we to assume that Sheila Dikshit is returning to the electoral scene with her full steam?
Why are you saying the obvious?
Okay.
I have returned and I am contesting. That's it.
But there was a long gap where you were not seen very active. So people said that Sheila Dikshit is returning to politics. So would it be right to assume that way?
Well, that's your language. That's the language you people use, returning and going away. But it's something that happens all the time. And I was asked to do it, my party asked me to, and I obeyed it.
What do you feel about the current narrative? Which way is it heading? Because you have a three-cornered fight between the three parties.
Well, we are hoping to win all seats. That's what the effort is. And I can't say how many exactly, because then you'll catch me next time and say, you said this and this didn't happen. But if we are doing well, and Congress is really being remembered for all the work that it has done in Delhi. Which of them has done work? What has the BJP done? What has Aam Aadmi done? But things that the Congress did is all remembered by the people.
You certainly, what you're saying is that a lot of development happened in your time, and be it the flyovers and metros, everything happened during your time. But why is it that, Aam Aadmi Party has not been able to deliver the way Congress delivered in their times?
Well, you should ask the Aam Aadmi Party that. I don't think they're interested in any kind of development, genuine development. They talk about it, but it's only talk. Implementation is not there. That's the big tragedy over there.
Aam Aadmi Party says that they have done a lot of work in health and education. What is your assessment?
What have they done in health and education which has not been merely a continuation of what Congress had already done? Tell me that. They say this, but they don't specify it, they don't elaborate on it, they don't give the real facts.
But they say the mohalla clinics and the way they have revamped the government schools.
All right, if they've done some mohalla clinics, is that all that Delhi needs? May I ask you that question? Is that all that? And you're feeling satisfied because they've done some mohalla clinics? I mean, I'm surprised.
That's the campaign they're talking about.
No, they're talking about the campaign. I'm talking about the campaign which made Delhi's picture change.
What, according to you, is the biggest issue, ma'am? You've seen Delhi so closely over the years.
What do you mean by the biggest issue? The biggest issue at the moment is this thing that we are going through. Who's going to be elected? The election process is going on. So that is the big issue today. At the moment, currently, that is the one issue that is being talked about, which is being thought about, and which is going to result in whatever people generally think.
Now, issues like unauthorized colonies, parking, sewerage, they somehow are not being spoken about by the political parties.
Look, I'll tell you one thing. Delhi is an ever-changing city. It's the capital of this country, and it keeps getting people coming here and all the time looking for jobs and everything. So it's an ever-growing city. It's not a static city. So what is the problem today becomes a solution the next time, and then another problem rises. So this is life. It's not only full of problems, it's not only full of solutions, but it is there. It requires attention all the time. Now, is it getting the kind of attention that it should be getting as the capital city of this country? That is the question which I would like to ask.
Do you still feel that over the last 5 years, the problems of Delhi have just not been addressed?
No, they haven't been. You look at the filth, you go to the constituency from where I'm contesting. My God, you have to see the filth to believe it. I couldn't believe it myself. There are no roads at all. The roads are all broken. There's filth all around. You don't have to, if you sort of, don't believe entirely what I'm saying, take around yourself, send somebody there. I mean, it's shocking. I've never seen that place like this.
Your competitor from BJP is Manoj Tewaris, who comes with a lot of star power. And do you think he'll be able to translate his star power into some kind of votes as compared to Congress and Aam Aadmi Party?
No, I'm not thinking of it like that. I'm thinking of my own position, and I'm trying to do the best that I can. When I think of it, I think of what I can do and what I should be talking about, rather than talking about somebody else.
The issue of statehood, which Aam Aadmi Party has been raising, and they have, dotted all their billboards also with the same campaign that they've never been allowed to work because of interference from the central government or from the LG. And Aam Aadmi Party has now brought up statehood as a main poll issue. Will it ring in the minds of the voters?
Tell me, is that an excuse not to work? That's all I'm asking you. Why are they saying such a thing? We worked under the same circumstances, the same kind of constitutional provisions. So when you when you haven't been able to work or not been, smart enough to work, because please remember one thing, everybody is interested in Delhi, because as I said and I repeated, that it is the capital city of the country, and we all need to look after it, because it's the showcase of India to the world.
So you mean to say that the statehood issue, which has been raked up as a poll issue, is something hollow, which will actually not ring the minds of the voters?
No, you can't have it. The Parliament has to decide on that.
Because of the NCTD Act.
Yes, the Constitution says that this is the kind of powers that the Delhi government will have. If those powers have to be increased or decreased or changed, then the Parliament has to do it. You can't do it on your own at all.
But any constitutional amendment or a legislative change, it has to happen. It happens through dialogue. It happens through consensus. But the kind of confrontationist and obscurantist behavior which Aam Aadmi Party has been revealing all these years, do you think that at all is possible to make those changes in the NCTD Act?
No, it depends on how they, approach it. As you have yourself admitted, that unless you approach it in a particular way, where you are able to convince Parliament and you are able to convince the, government of India, you can't get anywhere.
Coming to the alliance, ma'am, there was a feeling that Congress and Aam Aadmi Party will join hands and they will fight elections in alliance. What actually happened? Why didn't it work?
Look, I was not in the depth of it. I was just not for it. That's all. Nobody spoke to me about it, and I thought that all of us should not go into an alliance, because we are a big party, please remember, and the number of seats that they were willing to give us seemed like an insult to my party. My party is an old party, it's a historical party, it's a traditional party. So we felt that, and that's what was understood eventually, and therefore the Gathbandhan stopped. I mean, it wasn't that if a Gathbandhan has to take place, it has to be mutual understanding. Apparently, there was no mutual understanding.
But ma'am, the goals and the objectives of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, and in fact the entire Gathbandhan, if you talk about, they say that on any cost we have to remove the BJP government. So if you talk about the goals and objectives, if the goals and objectives are common, then why diversion? Why not alliances?
How do you say that it's common? For us, we are contesting both against the BJP and the Aam Aadmi. How is it common?
BJP says that Congress and Aam Aadmi Party are vying for the second and the third
position.
Let
them say what they feel like it. I'm not going to comment on what they think, because in politics, you can say your point of view, which may not necessarily be the point of view of the other.
Just about 8 months from now, you will have Delhi elections. So is it a kind of a do or die battle for Congress?
Why do you say it's a do and die? Why are you after us? Why say do and die battle? We are the only party which has won 3 consecutive elections here. You don't talk of that. Are you representing somebody?
Not at all, ma'am.
So why are you saying this?
So are we going to see Sheila Dikshit returning as Chief Minister when the...
No. Nothing has been decided about that. Nothing has been talked about it. At the moment, we are facing the Lok Sabha elections, and we will concentrate on that.
Ma'am, opposition parties are after this nationalism issue, which has been raked up by internal security has been made into a poll issue. Why is opposition saying that nationalism and the internal security is
Where
not
is
an
the
issue?
opposition saying that? It's an issue that a party has taken up. It has not taken up any issues which will improve the life of the people, which will remove all the problems that are there. Jobs, for instance. Jobs is something which everybody wants in this country. Why is all this not being done? The impression that goes to many is that there's a diversion, to divert something.
If you look at the last assembly elections which Aam Aadmi Party had won, we saw that the traditional vote bank of the Dalits and the Muslims, they veered towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, is the traditional vote bank is going to be split because it's a three-cornered contest? Do you see the splitting of the vote banks?
You will get to know about it in a couple of days. I don't want to talk about it just now.
How do you see the way things are developing?
The response that we are getting as Congress is very good. It's very, very nice. Let us see.
So how many seats are you really expecting in Delhi out of 7 Lok Sabha seats?
We would like to expect all the 7. We are aiming for all the 7 because we are contesting in all the 7. So each seat is important.
But do we see a unified contest as far as Congress is concerned? Because some people say that, there's an Ajay Maken camp and a Sheila Dikshit camp. And like for example in BJP.
Is there? Some people say. People can say what they like. There's no camp like this. And how do you say that there is a camp? Every one of us is contesting our own election. Nobody is interfering in anybody else's election. And also, nobody is trying to make a certain X person win or a certain X person lose. Nothing of the sort is happening.
We saw Priyanka Gandhi coming for your roadshow yesterday. And many people say that her entry could have been made earlier. So do you think it's coming?
Just because you got nothing else to say and not praise the wonderful roadshow that we had.
No, of course it was a wonderful roadshow.
No, but you're talking
about the entry of Priyanka Gandhi.
No. Why are you saying this, that the entry? Well, she's taken her time. You take your time to do something. I don't see how that is a matter of criticism or a question.
Okay, ma'am. And one or two last questions before I wind up the interview with you. At the age of 81, I know it requires a lot of effort. And so how many hours of sleep are you able to catch?
How many of them?
How many hours of sleep are you really able to catch?
Oh, but I do my normal sleeping in any case. Because like any one of you, I also sleep at night.
Okay, wish you loads of energy, Sheila ji.
Well, I have energy enough so far, and let's see. I hope to God that I continue with it.
So, are you going to return with the same aggression which we saw you during the 15-year rule?
No, it depends on the circumstances. The circumstances of what has happened are never the same as what is happening now.
But ma'am, we've seen changing roles. Like we saw you as a governor of Kerala. Then you were given the charge of you were shown as the UP's chief ministerial face. Now you are Delhi's party chief. What other roles are you looking for? Because in one of your interviews, you've said that Sheila Dikshit is not seeking any role.
No, that's true. I don't seek any role. But if I'm asked by my party to do something, I do it.
Okay. So it was a pleasure talking to you, Sheila ji.
Thank you.
So that's it on this episode of our election interview. See you next time with another personality. Goodbye and thanks for your time.